Over the last week or so, I've been getting tagged in an article that is quite shocking, confronting, and horrible, to say the least. Because of, my interests, this channel, I'm getting tagged in it a bunch of times, and it gets to a point where you get frustrated. And it's not taking it out on the people that have tagged me in it, but the situation. I'm referring to the employee that was shot and killed over an argument for a sneaker raffle.
And breaking news, a deadly shooting at a shoe store in the Fairfax district. Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suiters there live with more on the victim and what led up to the shooting. Leanne?
Ellen, investigators say that gunfire broke out over a shoe raffle dispute. That 26-year-old victim, an employee here of the Shoe Palace. You can see this remains an active investigation. Authorities continuing their hunt for that gunman.
Outside the Shoe Palace on the corner of Melrose and Genesee yesterday, and it was all over a raffle. A raffle for a pair of shoes.
Police tell us a lot of this happened in front of the Shoe Palace there. There was a shoe raffle where you see that tent. A fight broke out there, and that's when police believe an employee who lives down the street walked down here to break up that fight, but instead lost his life.
This is for sure like a big problem in LA, like something such as gun violence, as simple as raffles and shoes. I don't think it was that serious, but like this for sure has to get handled, and this is a problem.
And since I'm on this side of the block, let's put a moment of silence right now. RIP to the young gentleman that worked at Shoe Palace. There was a sad story. Seeing somebody that works at a retail spot literally across the street. RIP to that man. I wish nothing. It's literally a tragedy that broke my heart. And some of the staff actually saw the whole incident happen, and it's kind of sad. It's a tragedy. And I pray for them.
A deadly dispute over a shoe raffle outside the Shoe Palace on Melrose Avenue. An employee killed, the suspect on the run.
And more breaking news this afternoon, this time in the Fairfax district, where witnesses say a man was shot and killed over a pair of shoes.
There is a growing memorial here for the victim where his friends and co-workers at the Shoe Palace store where the shooting happened right outside set up this memorial for him yesterday.
He was coming into work, and he seen it happening and tried to de-escalate it. They tried to surround him, so he kind of just backed up like, hey, I'll fight you guys. And the guy just pulled out a gun and shot.
Now, as far as what I've seen, there's no mention of the shoe, what actual shoe it is, but for me it doesn't matter. There is no shoe that could ever be released that is worth a human life. The issue is that the reason we care about sneakers is the hype surrounding them. A lot of people anyway. Myself, not so much. But the reason why it gets that sort of attention is because the limited runs, the hype around it, the collabs, the branding, everything like that. The exclusivity of it all. But it's also the reason stories like this happen, or people getting robbed at gunpoint for their shoes and that sort of thing, which is a fairly common occurrence. A couple of years ago, there was a lot of articles about people getting killed over their Jordans or Nikes, whatever. A bunch of people have been calling for a pre-order system. And specifically, I was hearing this around the Kobe Grinch. That shoe, especially at that time, with Kobe's passing, was a grail for most people, and it seemed like the best way to send him off, in terms of a sneaker. That's one of, if not the biggest Kobe. But instead, Nike opted for the hype. It's a tried and true method. It works, it sells. Why go away from it, right? Fast forward to the recent incident. I feel like with a pre-order system, the argument against a pre-order system is that the hype that these sneaker companies and any company in the world builds off will be gone. It will negate said hype. I disagree. Will it calm down the reselling market? Probably. But at the same time, you're still going to get people that potentially might have been broke that week. They missed out for whatever reason. They just didn't see it. Maybe they just got into sneakers. So there's still always going to be an aftermarket on sneakers, no matter what. But what we can cut down on is these incidents. Now, the way that I think it'll go is these super limited releases will move away from stores. It'll all be interacted with online, via an app, things like that. That's cool. You're not going to have issues where a retail clerk doing his job gets shot for doing his job. I can't even believe I'm saying that right now. But it's not going to go away from people, you know, robbing people for sneakers and that sort of thing. Innocent people have died over sneakers. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And you look at it from the other aspect, that person who's killed someone for sneakers has essentially thrown their life away too. So 2 lives gone. Insane. The kid that died was just doing his job, breaking up a fight between people arguing about a raffle. And he got shot for it. He got asked by someone he worked with to go help and got shot. The crazy thing is, the kid that shot him was only 16. He's gone early, and the 16-year-old's never going to be the same. He's going to be thrown into jail. If he does, he's doing a murder charge, but even if he comes out, right, he's never going to be the same again. All for fucking shoes. Now, I don't want to throw this all down on brands or anything like that, because at the end of the day, they're a business, they got shareholders, all this type of thing. They've got a business model that works. It's very successful. But I definitely think it's time to rethink ways in which we promote, sell, and continue to build within the sneaker community. New Balance has recently come out, and their limited releases, their collabs and things like that are going through this pre-order model. You pre-order your shoe, you get your shoe. You may have to wait a little bit longer for the pre-order, but you don't miss out. How hard is that? If you're, and obviously I don't know numbers, but let's say something like a recent Cactus Jack release. I don't know what the official numbers that were released worldwide. Let's say they're 10,000, right? 10,000. How many of those are botted or backdoored or anything like that? Then if you say you get a pre-order, your everyday person can get access to that. They're still a nice shoe, they're hype. Maybe you do the pre-order for like an hour for that, whereas others you do for like 5 days. We're spitballing here. Does that then bring into the question of bots could just pre-order 1,000 pairs if it's uncapped? Maybe. But if everyone has access to them, how many times are they going to do that before they realize there's no money in this anymore? I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I do know that this type of behavior can't continue. We need to do better. This type of shit does not paint us in a good light at all, because No matter one person's actions, it tarnishes a whole community. And if you guys are not upset or angry about this situation, then and what has happened, I don't know what will get you to that point. But the solutions are there. The solutions are there. Like we said, if it's 10,000, right, and they're all raffled, that could potentially become 50,000. They're making more money. It's a win-win. The hype dies down, yes, but it'll all eventually balance out. That 50,000, if it was 10,000, the first drop was 50,000, it's going to drop a little bit, maybe get around 25,000. It's still going to be more than what it was initially. You're still making more money. If that's the end goal here, which obviously any business is to make money, that's the how is this not a thing? Obviously, love sneakers, but you guys, these companies have got to do better. You've got to do better. At what point does human life become more valuable than profit? You got to do better, guys.